All right, let's begin with today, which is the 5th. And we can see that had a nice consolidation pretty much in the overnight. Everyone's building positions. So let's just, actually this is a pretty clean chart. Remove everything, unlike some other charts, which are not as clean. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Let's go first to the daily. Whenever people tell you to invest in the S&P 500, if you don't know how to invest, that's always a safe investment. I personally would love to do crypto. I just not quite getting there. All right, let's take a look at today, shall we? So this is the daily. And we can see how we're kind of leveling off here. I know a lot of folks don't like to do this. I do. So I'm going to do it. There's nothing wrong with trying to figure out where you're at, what you're doing. Where you think you're going to end up. Alright, so we can see it's consolidating. It's in a range. Alright, so that's our daily. Let's go to our 4-hour. Here's our 4. Should probably find out where we're at here. We're trading, what, the 5th? Alright, so still staying within that range. The things to note on the 4-hour are these flags. See how we were flagging down here in that nice, beautiful channel down. Granted, that's a previous day, but if you're ever trading and you want to look back at, some history, that's not bad. Looks like we had some bases. Pretty good. What kind of levels here? Alright, let's go to the hourly. We should probably pretend that doesn't exist. And see if we got anything in here that means anything to us. Nice little range there. Oops. Nice little cap-chow there. Let's go to 15. And let's begin our day. So looking back, before, this is the 5th, right? So if we're looking at our days, we don't have to go too back. We could probably start here, the 27th. You see how we kind of go up to a high. We double top it. Kind of base here, go all the way down to there. I would probably draw a line there. I don't know why I didn't have one there. Okay, we tank, right? Come up here, we pull back in this range. It's just right there. Should probably draw that. We go all the way up here, we go down, we fill the V. So you'll see I live off of this, and I know y'all get tired of me saying it, but if there was one drawing that I feel encompasses trading, it's always this. A massive move down. Granted, it went down further, but before it goes down, we have a fill. Massive move down, fill. This whole area, money sold, money bought. It filled. Why is that important? Well, if you go from 13,291 all the way down to 13,118, you can make a living off that. That's why it's important. So, not to be too crazy, but just to sum, I should just sum up this video with this one shape. But we won't, but we might. Okay, so here is the move, right? Goes there, you got a gap, we're beginning, we'll go down to here. Oh my god, look at that. Where's it going? So we had a collapse on the 3rd. We based, broke the base, came back up, then became support, a little funky. Then we started moving up. So before our day began, which was here, oh, I'm sorry, not on this chart. There it goes. In this area, you have a consolidation, right? This whole line here is consolidating. Why is that important? People are building their positions. I'm just going to change this, but you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. This is why it's sometimes best to take about half an hour before you start trading and do this shit. It helps. Sometimes you can't. You know, you might have a kid, you might wake up early, whatever, but you need to get into the habit of doing this because it is the best way to see different strategies, different things that are happening in the market that you may not notice when you're live and shit's going down. So it's nice to know. So if we look at my structure of things, how I like to trade, you know, you have your ranges, then you have your drops and your fills, right? So here you have your drops, and then here's a little range, bang, 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 even though it broke it there. Now we have a consolidation. If I elongate it out more, you can see it's not really doing anything fancy. The low is here, the high is kind of there. It starts building up, and we have our 8, that's probably 830 crash. Pulls where? It pulls immediately to the low of this consolidation area. Does not make a new low. Alright, remember that, put it in your head, write it down, whatever. We're trading the 15 right now. We could trade other time frames, it would still be in this general area. But it spikes it. The very next level shows that it failed moving up, right? Went to move up, got pushed back down. The very next bar goes up, and then gets pushed up, and then we have a bar here. So we're getting high. This zone here, we're lifting up. All right. And if you're a fan of crossovers, or if you're playing trend lines, you could, you know, probably get in on a crossover here. But let's pay more attention to price action. So we want to be somewhat bullish on this move for 2 reasons. We have the consolidation. We're not breaking below this area, right? So we're not crashing all the way down and continuing down. We know we had a massive sell-off here. We had a retrace, right back down again, tried to break new lows, failed, shot up, based here, based again, started to move up, right? And then people started taking positions or consolidation. Now, if you just saw this data here, massive sell-off, failure, starts making an upward momentum, you almost would be a little bit bullish if it wasn't for this action as well as the fill, right? So you have bang, filled it, bang, have not filled this area here, right? So an area that you might want to look at, even though it hasn't happened. So we have wicks and bodies, and it's kind of ugly, but this zone, I don't think it'll let me do it. Maybe it will. Well, you get the picture. This whole area hasn't been filled. So from here to here, if you're trading the 15 or the hourly, or we can go into smaller time frames too, but we'll stay on the 15 just for now. Once we start breaking up, we're not making a new low. We come damn close here, right? Just teases a little bit lower and pulls back up. I wouldn't be afraid of that. You're not breaking these two bars. Lower, pulls back, a tease, pulls back. So now we're classically moving up now. I don't see one bar that's really overtaking the other bar. Obviously you're getting these pullbacks. What's the heat on that? 65, 52, not bad. But our entry really should be this area between these two bars is where you want to be. So you have the breakout, that would be the pullback right off that line. That's probably a decent entry right there. So as it goes up, we take profits. Where do we get out? Well, since we charted we spent a little bit of time looking back in the past, we can see that on the 3rd, we had a range in here. From here to there's your body, right, which almost emulated this, pretty close. And then we have our wicks up here. I would look to get out in this zone, really, but if you were gutsy, you could have let it ride for a while, but I think that might have been a little bit too ballsy. So really your trade for today was long, and you didn't have a reason to do anything till about here. So on this pullback here, you could have gotten out. So let's say you're crushing it. Just to give you an idea. Well, I guess we can do the point. Right, and let's say we got in here, which is 1313398. Really? Let's say 13134. Just make it easier. Now that's 119 points, close to 120. That's sick. And there's, you're not really getting any reason to if you trade the 15-minute bar, one bar is not really overtaking another bar. So you could eat that. By the time you get to here, you can add a second position. Yeah, or you could have gone 2 off the bottom. However you like to trade. 1 contract is bad, is nice. 2 contracts is better. 3 is getting a little greedy. 4, you better be damn sure. Or you gotta have some money to eat it when it goes against you. That's really the entire day's worth of trading. If you're trying to play pullbacks, you have a little area in here, a little area in there, and a little area there. Off the 15. Other than that, not much. If we go into some more smaller time frames, if you're trying to do devil's advocate and see where you could possibly have shorted the market, that's really nothing. That's not too much. This zone in here, so we do have an area where if you wanted to go against the trend, well, that didn't work out well, and you want to do a little small ball, which would have been from like 270, 60, 54. You could have played this range. I don't recommend it, but I've done it many times before. You go up, you go down. Now you play this range here. Once it hit this level, you short it. And then you would play, 71, 94, or if you want to call it 72, whatever. And then you would play for the bottom range of 42. So 72, 42, 30 points. A little ballsy though. Bang, 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 bang. Or if you really wanted to take a short here, pull back, get out, short again. Bang, bang. A couple ways you could have played it, but going against the trend, folks. I mean, even if you're, it doesn't really break the 200 till this zone here, and this zone here. You know what I mean? Let's go down a smaller time frame to 1 minute. And you can see where it just takes off. It's a lot more choppy on the one, not as smooth. So we have this move up, sideways action, and then a continuation. And then in this zone, we start to see it fail. Not too many points. We get teased here, get teased there. Definite break in this zone. Break there for a little bit, and here we got the collapse. If you ask my opinion, your best short was probably, if you had to short the market, this is not shrinking up, is it? Doesn't want to. Didn't want to do it. So if we do, let's go to a bigger time frame just for kicks. So I drew a line there because we're starting to top out in this range, right? This whole area, and you can see our time frame here from another drawing, which it never hit it. But this area in here, right? Right there, right there, right there. Even though it wicks up, how much heat are you taking on that? 56, nothing. 5 points. You start seeing the bodies in this zone here. So where's our bodies? Our bodies are here. So if we zone that off, right? And there's no guarantee it's going down. It depends on the market. But this is the zone here. As we started to break into this area, you should probably look to short. You're starting to get into bodies. Now you're just getting into pure wicks. And if you look in this zone here, it actually was a decent short. You wicked it. You could have gotten into this area. I guess we didn't go to a smaller time frame. Sorry. It's probably not as bad looking in that time. Okay, here. So if we're down to the 1, we can see we got wicks, we got our bodies, but in this general zone, what is that? 58 to 54. We have a nice collapse. If you don't like playing the breaks, you play the pullbacks for verification. So if you're like, I don't believe this is a short, well, let it go down, let it pull back almost to the level, doesn't break through it. So if you didn't get in here, you could have gotten in here, this area. And then that's kind of your confirmation. It goes up and you continue to write it down to 4 o'clock. Play it safe. Where's 4 get us? 4 gets us here, which is 318. So 353. $354. Yeah, not bad. You can't go wrong with that, you know. 36 points. Especially when you're getting into a zone here. If you short it at the top, this is tough too. But you might have been able to hit more of a multi-contract here. So say you took 2 to 3 short off of this red bar or this zone, right? And you're banking that range is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, say 5 points. So you're going to need 15 points of heat with your 3 contracts if it goes above that. But as it starts to go down, you're compounding that move, right? And that gets a little interesting. I wouldn't recommend going heavy on contracts unless you're really kind of building positions or you see the market hit an area and it's just not breaking it. So if you like going 3 heavy off the beginning, you can live and die by the sword, but you can also build, you know. So if you wanted to play this breakout in this zone here, we're going long. There's 1 contract. 40, there's 60, right? That's 20 points. I'm going to wait for a pullback. It kind of pulls back to here. Doesn't really break a new low. You can go add another position. Breaks all the way up, pulls back, doesn't really break that low, add another position. You can also build it that way, which is not bad. I tend to look at extremes, so if we're playing the top of the top, now if it shoots up, sometimes it shoots up with a shit ton of force. This wasn't the day. There's a lot of small bars, but on some days when it breaks a major level, it skyrockets through it. So be very careful if you're doing multiple contracts. Really take a short stop and stick to it. But your stop would be just above those wicks. You know, so you're eating maybe 15, 20 points. It's still a lot, but if you see the pullback, doesn't get you, and slowly makes its way down. It's a bummer to get all that and then get all the way back there, then get all that. Oh, but that's the way the market moves. So if you're not used to this, that's just how it works. But that's today. I mean, literally today was, if you got in at the right time, just following this, there, right there's your, it just gives you no reason to short, does it, until you hit this zone. But there's absolutely no reason to short here. Very easy market day. Upward, upward, upward. If you did your homework, you would have also noticed that it was working to fill this area. And that makes it relatively There's no guarantees, obviously, anything. You know, you get it in news, you get it in market. Someone could say something, then spooks some of the big fish, but most of the time, it is a very simplistic um, fill. It's almost sad, you know. Like if you had no information and you saw a huge pump here, and someone said, "Oh, within the next couple days, it's going to fill all the way back up here," you'd be like, "I don't know. Why is it going down here?" No, 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 no. It's not. It didn't really build that block. It's just shot down. It's going to shoot back up, and then you follow the market. Bang. There it is. That's the fill. It's fucking crazy, man. So then we have another level here. You're like, well, we'll see about that. There it is again. Filled it again. Does it always do that? No, it doesn't. Sometimes it shoots all the way down. But in between that, you have a similar structure, right? And then it gets a little ugly. It doesn't always work, but a lot of times you'll see these areas where it is filling these zones. Then sometimes you get these, well, that's a fill, but then you get these massive trends. What is similar to kind of like we're off, you know, just trends up. And then other times, you know, you get these trends down. It's not the prettiest picture. It's not a straight line. It's up and down. It's choppy. But, you know, when you look at it from a broader spectrum, it does eventually make it there. You know, there's balance. In these smaller time frames, there's a lot of balance. In the great big time frames, it takes a long time for there to be balance. But in the smaller time frames, especially if you're a day trader, there's always a little bit of balance thrown there that helps us out. The journey sometimes is a motherfucker, and the emotional roller coaster is a motherfucker. But other than that, you know, it is what it is. It's, you know, it's just money bought and sold. Price levels. You know, just lines. Goes down, goes up, just fills. It's not pretty, is it? You know, it gets a little crazy. But if you play the game, you love the game. And it is one of the best games going. Especially if you know how to play it. I played today. I think I came in. I missed this, and I should have charted. I didn't quite chart out today. Still made a profit today, but it was nowhere near what I should have done. Today should have been a super big day, and it wasn't. Yeah, today was easily a good day. But that's all I got for today. So if you want to trade NASDAQ, don't make it harder than it has to be. I know I didn't get into, like, you know, playing all these finite moves and when this candle overtakes this candle, and, you know, you're going to go this way or that way. A lot of that shit, everything means something, but a lot of times look for the easier moves first. And when you get a lot of static, look for a more simplistic option. And so what I mean by that is look for setups that you like to play better. So, like, why play this consolidation? You know, why not box it off and wait for a break and then play this all the way down, right? And then we have a basing period. We're not making new lows. Let's ride the reversal. What happens? We have another basing period. What's going on? Oh shit. Oh, we filled again. Oh no. What are we going to do now? Did we break a new high? We didn't really break this basing period. I don't know. What should I do? Where do you think it's going to go? It could shoot up. By all means, it could shoot up. But is it giving us, look at that pin bars. Keep it going. Oh, there's another. That's a beautiful one there. All the way down. New low. Where do you think it's going? Well, we haven't really based, but I'd probably get out of this trade as it goes up. And now it's a little choppy. We're ranging. We're not really making new lows. We have a little bit of cheddar here. We might look to get. Let's see what happens though. Oh no. Oh look, all that money got filled. Do you see the game? But look at the patience. This is 320, right? And this is 5.5. Yeah, that could be a motherfucker, but when it breaks, it does fill. Now, do you think it's going up higher or lower? Let's see. Ooh. Shot all the way up. Then here, right? Here it topped out. And didn't really make a new high. Which way do we go? We go down. Next week, do we go down again? We don't know. Gotta see it. Gotta see what it does. See what it gives you. But there's a lot of ways to look at it. You don't always have to look at this. You know what I mean? You can zone it out, box it off, look for levels, look for areas. Watch more videos too. They'll tell you about pullbacks in support. Like we did with when we were looking to get in low. Your time frames tell a different story as well, but if you just played the 15, you'd see your point goes down, goes up here. You take the short on this bar, well, there's your pullback bar right there. That's your entry, etc. That's your confirmation. Shit like that. Watch a lot of videos out there. My style of looking at things, it might be different than yours. But what I'd like to give you a vision on is some of the things that I see over and over and over again, and they tend to play out over and over again. There's a balance in the market, at least with this particular, the NASDAQ and the spider. They tend to correct themselves. So I hope you guys see that too. Hope you have fun. Obviously this channel gets almost 0 views, but if you had a question, I'd answer it. But there is tons of money to be made. Today was easily anywhere from a $1,000 to $3,000 day, depending on how you played it. Alrighty.